Hi guys, the Determined Gardener here. This is a time when lots of us are getting ready to harvest our tomatoes, but unfortunately, sometimes it looks like this. That's right, this. That black spot at the bottom of your tomato is called blossom rot. And unfortunately, lots of tomatoes, sometimes this happens to. So I'm going to show you how to prevent blossom rot. So guys, what causes blossom rot? Well, it's basically a deficiency in calcium. So that means even if the plant is getting enough calcium, the soil may not have enough calcium, which is causing the end rot to happen to your tomato. And you can see from this one has a big problem. So how do we prevent end rot? The first thing you want to do is water. Water your plants more regularly. Aim for deep watering so the roots grow strong and can access nutrients better. Mulching around the base of the plant can also keep the soil moist too. Now guys, if you have bottom end rot, unfortunately there's really nothing you can do with that tomato. You'll just have to throw it away because it's just going to get really bad and ugly. But what you can do is just make sure that you water. You can also use some calcium sprays for a quick fix or fertilizers that have a lot of calcium in it. I make sure that I have a good watering routine. I make sure that I water consistently, and I try not for the tomato to dry out too much, because when you have the tomato dry out too much in between waterings, that's when bottom rot can actually occur, and the plant will have a harder time soaking up that calcium from the ground. So again, make sure you just water regularly. Just as bad as underwatering is overwatering. You shouldn't overwater your tomatoes because that can also lead to blossom, bottom, and rot. Meaning that if you water too much, you not only burst the tomato, but flush out all that needed calcium that the tomato plant needs to grow, which will end up in that ugly black spot. So again, you don't want to overwater either. You want to keep on a regular schedule. If you're living in those very hot climates, you want to water at least twice a day. In normal climates like myself, I water at least once a day, but I give it a very deep watering, at least a half an hour of watering the drip line. Now, Garden Gems, let's talk about keeping your tomato plants healthy. When you plant them, just remember to give them ample room. You don't want to overcrowd your tomato plants, because if one tomato plant goes bad, that can spread to the other tomato plant. So you want to give them enough space to grow. That way, it also improves on air circulation and prevents any fungus or diseases from spreading to your other tomato plants. I also do regular maintenance like pruning. Any leaves that touches the ground, I remove them. And I also support my tomatoes by staking them. I remember in the past, I would never stake my tomatoes, and then they would grow to be 3 feet tall, and then it would break because there was no way to support them. So the way you should support your tomato plant is to either get some type of grow gate, or you can just use bamboo sticks and tie them up. And to get tomatoes to ripen, you need that extra fertilizers. Tomatoes in general are very heavy feeders. So I'm not going to show you how to fertilize here because I already did it last week. You can use Miracle Grow. You can use any fertilizer that is a balanced fertilizer. You want to fertilize during the summer at least twice to make sure that your tomato plant is getting the nutrients it needs. I fertilize when I put them in the ground, when I first put them in the ground, and then in the next 3 to 4 weeks when I see that little tomato just before the tomato starts to grow, that's when I fertilize again. And Garden Gems, you may have realized that this is the time to also plant strawberries. Strawberries at many stores like Lowe's are half price. Just take a look at all these beautiful strawberries that you can put in your garden. Even blueberries that are on sale right now. So I'm going to try to pick up some brand new strawberries or blueberries. I'm going to bring them home. This one looks really nice. So why should you plant strawberries in August? Well, August is a great time to put them in the ground. The warm soil keeps them established. It gives them strong roots before winter so they can hit the ground running in the spring. Now, the first thing you need to do is to pick the right spot. Strawberries love full sun. So find a place in your garden that gets a lot of sun, at least 6 to 8 hours of sunlight each day. And make sure the soil is well draining. Strawberries absolutely hate sitting in water. That will actually make their crown rot. So Garden Gems, I'm going to show you how to plant strawberries. You have my container, my soil, my potting soil, and my shears. They have been cleaned off, and the trusty strawberry plant you see right here. Now you may notice that they have little runners on the side right there. There they are, the runners. Now this strawberry is a juniperberry, and it typically blooms in June. It's a great pollinator magnet, and it has sweet berries. So what I'm going to do right now, you see the hole, make sure it has very good drainage, and that container does. I am going to start to fill the container with the potting soil on all 3 corners and make sure they are even. If this potting soil is moist already, it has peat moss, perlite, all the good stuff that will make the strawberry grow healthy and strong. And I'm just going to mix it up a bit, make sure it's nice and even. You can grow strawberries in a pot like this, and this I got at Dollar General. It comes in a 3-pack, so you can actually make a tower strawberry, or you can plant the strawberry right in your raised bed. You are looking at the runners right there, and runners are basically small strawberry plants that are attached to the main plant. Here is a closer look. These stems extend away from the mother plant and form small new plantlets at the tips. They can take root and develop into independent strawberry plants altogether, which is a natural way for strawberries to grow and spread. Now, when these little plants make contact with soil, they begin to develop roots. Once the roots establish themselves, the little plant can survive on its own, even if the runner is cut from the mother plant, which I am doing right now. So what I'm going to do is not going to put it in my raised bed. I'm going to put these little strawberry plantlets in that container. If you want to put it in your raised bed, you can, but from what I understand, if you put it in your raised bed, it may grow too much. So I put it in a container so I can control the growth and trim it when I can. So what I do is I cut and I leave about 2 inches of the plant. It's okay if you just cut one stem, you can still plant it that way. What I'm going to do is just cut right there, and you see that's the head of the strawberry. That's where you're going to plant it in the ground. So I'm going to do some more cutting. The reason why you want to do this is because you want to get these strawberries away from the mother plant because it does drain the energy. I'm going to now plant the little strawberry plant in the ground. The main thing you want to remember, you can't plant strawberry plantlets deep. If you do, the crown will rot. So what you want to do is just put it right on top of the soil. And that's the reason why you just cut the stem maybe 1 inch or 2. If it's too long, then you can do that again and just cut it again. But the most important thing is you do not want to plant these strawberry plantlets deep into the ground. So Garden Gems, I'm just going to continue to plant my little strawberry plantlets in my container, and you can just watch me do that. It is a very delicate process, so you want to be as careful and gentle as you can. You can use like maybe a pencil to make the hole, but I just use my fingers. It's just easier that way, and I can see whether I planted deep enough or not. Here is another one. I'm just going to plant it right in the container, not too deep, and I'm just going to cover it over just with a little bit of soil, just enough to cover the head of the little strawberry plantlet. Here is a bigger one. Sometimes the strawberry plantlets will have these bigger heads. That's the better ones you want. You don't want the ones that are small. You want the ones that are more developed. If you prefer, you can spread them out Strawberries love to spread, but I keep these nicely compact. Now it's time to water. I use my spray bottle and I just give it a spray. Nice and moist. Now you want to remember to water at least once every 2 to 3 days because you don't want these new plantlets to dry out. Here is my melon, my green melon that I'm growing in my raised bed. You can see it right there, have it on a trellis, it's growing upward. And there's a little baby melon right there. You see, here is my raised bed, and I'm growing also sweet peppers. You see right there, some of them are red already, and that one is a watermelon. It's still very small. I keep it in a container to protect it from the animals. And here is my basil. Yes, I have had some wonderful salads when it comes to my basil. Showing you a little of my garden. These are my beautiful hydrangeas. These are limelight hydrangeas. They get to be 6 to 8 feet tall. They are absolutely beautiful. They are turning this nice blush pink. You can see right there. It's getting a little colder, so that's when the hydrangeas start to turn colors. You can see this is my pinky winky. Oh, that is beautiful. And they have already turned this beautiful blush color at the end, and at the tips it's this white beautiful color. I love the pinky winkies. They are so pretty. And here is my butterfly bush. It's a fuchsia butterfly bush. It's a smaller variety. It gets about no more than 5 feet tall. And here's my serendipity alliums. And here I put a little bit of fun in my raised bed. Give another look at my raised bed there. You see some peppers hiding, green peppers hiding that I'm still growing in my garden. Garden Gems, I would love to know how your raised garden is doing. Are you planting any vegetables? Have you planted any vegetables? How are your tomatoes doing? What do you think about this gardening season? Has it been successful? Are you growing strawberries? Just let me know in the comment section if you are enjoying this garden season and what you have been doing and whether it has been successful for you. One thing you want to know, if you are growing strawberries, I love the fact that when it gets really a lot, but you don't want to keep the strawberries too long on the stem because they do tend to dry up. So if you're growing strawberries, you want to enjoy them as quickly as you can because they do dry up. Don't consistently water. So again, guys, thank you so much for joining me here on my channel. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel and share this video with your family and friends, and let me know how your gardening season is going. Until next time, guys, happy gardening. Bye-bye.